Now, if you're keen on New World wines, and you're probably familiar with Margaret River, the region of southwest Australia that produces a very small amount of Australia's wines, but it produces the highest proportion of the country's best wines. Well, the wine industry has transformed Margaret River into a major international tourist attraction, as Kirsten McGasty now reports.
A 3-hour drive south of Perth, the capital city of Western Australia, a state that covers 1/3 of Australia, lies Margaret River. It's a small town in a region with about 10,000 residents, but every year it attracts over 1.5 million visitors, mainly to its cellar doors to try and buy wine. The surf along the 100-kilometre stretch of the Indian Ocean is another draw card, while for some it's the prospect of staying in a hidden bush retreat where your most likely company are some kangaroos. Until the late 1960s, when the first vines were planted, the land was used for cattle and dairy farming. But the rapid growth in the wine industry and the tourism it's created has changed the landscape forever. Only 3% of Australia's wine is produced here, but over 1/5 of the country's premium wines. The Winemakers Federation of Australia says wine tourism is worth over $950 million Australian dollars to its economy. The Australian government has recognised its value in providing winemakers with an alternate income stream in its national wine tourism strategy. The phenomenal rise has also caught worldwide attention. With wine-producing countries like Australia, France and South Africa now fiercely competing for a share of the international market, there's a growing shift to develop tourism in these areas to add value to the wine industry. But perhaps it's a little surprising that when the world's winemakers and tourism chiefs meet to discuss tourism strategy, they come to this corner of southwestern Australia. Surprising because as a meeting place, it's remote, almost at the bottom of the earth, and also because it's such a young wine region. But delegates from 14 countries who attended the last International Wine Tourism Conference at Leeuwin Estate are keen to learn from example and will meet again next year. But whether you're a wine enthusiast or a novice, a good place to start your tour is an informal wine appreciation class. Winemakers say Margaret River's secret is its proximity to the ocean, which moderates the climate, creating West Coast Mediterranean conditions like Bordeaux. The popularity of the wines has also spawned vineyard restaurants. Nicknamed the Surfing Chef, Aaron Carr's menu reflects Australia's multiculturalism, with Asian and Middle Eastern dishes using local produce. Some residents protested against the building of a modern, large-scale hotel and conference resort at Bunker Bay. But since it opened earlier this year, full occupancy shows there's a demand and more resorts could follow.
We have interest coming in at all different levels from developers all over the world wanting to invest in this area. And it's a great challenge for us to make sure we keep that balance.
Margaret River sees itself becoming the global wine tourism hub in 25 years' time. It may sound ambitious, but there's certainly determination behind that laid-back Aussie style.